What's up, guys, and welcome back to Dota Regions. This is going to be the last best of 2 set of the day. We're going to be following Not Today a little bit more as they go up against now Isurus Gaming in another best of 2 series presented by HeflaTV 2. I'm going to be one of your commentators. I'm Mike Loris, and Grandis is still here.
Yeah, that I am. Well, as far as the first bans coming out from both of these teams, we are going to see Faceless Void and Brewmaster taken out. Isurus, some things to watch for. I really want to see a fullback Meepo and a DDX Invoker. Both of those heroes just go so well with those players, and it's a lot of fun to watch. I think DDX Invoker is probably a little bit more likely than a fullback Meepo, as Isurus aren't usually the team to first pick or pick the Meepo up early. If it's still in the pool, in the second picking stage, we might see that as a possibility, but usually teams will ban it out in the second picking stage. But yeah, should be a pretty good match that we have on our hands. Not today. They've been looking pretty strong throughout the day, 3-1 in their series. And, well, Isurus, I'm not sure how their record is in the tournament so far, but I expect them to put up a decent fight at the very least.
Yeah, Isurus, they're always capable of performing very, very well. A little bit inconsistent, perhaps, but we can actually take a quick look at what Isurus... the score from Isurus in their last set hasn't been updated on Join Dota. They have at least one win. That's good, right? that's all I got. So the score of Isurus Gaming currently unknown, but we will hopefully try to get you guys updated on the total score standings by the end of this game as well. Invoker is going to get a rather early ban, respecting that DDX Invoker, and that means that Not Today, they're going to get their hands on a Lycan.
I am much more scared of a Lycanthrope than I am of a Shadow Shaman. I'm not sure if the Shadow Shaman really deserved that ban. It's just so scary to play up against now. Isurus, I wouldn't be surprised to see them snag up the Nature's Prophet for themselves. Maybe pick up the Skywrath Mage along with it, but yeah, they just kind of drop themselves in a bit of a sticky situation here. They'll pick up a Razor, which is good hero up against it, and a Death Prophet, which can push at a decent pace to counteract what the Lycanthrope has, as well as offering some decent counter push with those two. It's not a bad start by any means versus Lycanthrope, but then again, you're up against a Lycanthrope.
It's not too often that we see Razor Death Prophet on the same team, though. If you do pick them together, they actually work pretty well. Like the Eye of the Storm minus armor with Death Prophet's ultimate is a pretty nice combination there, and of course, no matter where you put these heroes, they're most likely going to have a very good time in lane. I'm expecting the Death Prophet to solo the mid lane, whereas Razor is probably going to be joined by 2 supports and then going to be going either safe lane or aggressive. Doesn't really, it's not too clear just yet. But Not Today with this Lycan. It's going to be a really nice pickup, this Razor, especially versus the Lycan. Because once you drain out some damage of the Wolf, it's not nearly as threatening. Maybe he has a Basher, maybe he has a Maelstrom to do something outside of it, but the damage that you steal from Lycan is just so crippling versus the hero. Of course, it's not always that you get to steal a lot of damage since he is moving so quickly, but if you do, then Lycan's going to be really upset. And Not Today, they're going to have to pick up some supports in order to make sure that this Lycan gets a good amount of early game farm. If they somehow drop the ball and Lycan doesn't end up getting that farm, then Not Today, they're going to be really hurting. However, they're going to go for the Nature's Prophet. They have Howl Synergy for days now, and their push is going to be pretty damn intense.
Yeah, 2 Necro Books, you have the Wolves as well as the Tree, and that's a dirty amount of damage that can be put towards those structures. And, well, Plasma Field and Crypt Storm, it's nice counter push, but it's not enough, especially if one of them gets picked off or they win a team fight first. Not Today are going to be able to mow down those towers. And even if they are playing from behind, Lycanthrope, although he doesn't function the best from behind, still can push fairly effectively with Shapeshift, as can the Nature's Prophet with his global teleport. And, well, Nature's Prophet just being one of the best split pushers in the game. Yeah, not sure where the next couple bans are going to take us. I'd expect a lot of the supports to be taken out. Earthshaker banned out by Not Today would be my expectations for the next ban. The Razor ban is actually very peculiar coming out from Not Today. I don't agree with it at all, because Death Prophet and Razor, I don't think there's really room for a Viper pick here in Isurus Gaming's lineup. It fits kind of the same role as the Razor would, and it would make their laning stage feel a little crowded.
Yeah, it is kind of a peculiar ban. It's always a very annoying hero to work up against, and that in itself is something you might want to consider, but I don't know if the consideration is enough to give him a full ban. Regardless, what's done is done. He is not going to be seen in this game. I don't think we've seen a single Viper today, as both teams that all the teams that we've been casting thus far have been respecting the Viper quite a bit. Sand King is going to be the ban out from Isurus, and Not Today, I really don't know how much they're going to go into this pushing strategy. I don't know how much they can go, because against Plasma Field and Crypt Swarm, getting a whole bunch of units and trying to push off of that is going to be a little bit risky. I don't think it's safe to go for another unit-based hero. The Invoker is out, which would have been a really nice pickup. Pick up a Necro Book as well as have those Forge Spirits with the Lycan, but it's not available to them now. Enigma is probably going a little bit too deep, I would say. I'd say odds are Not Today are satisfied with the amount of pushing they have right now, and then they're just going to try to shore up their lanes a little bit.
Yeah, I think Puck would be pretty solid for Not Today, just allowing Lycanthrope to have that uptime, if he does have the damage still. But Isurus, they're going to be the ones that are committing more deeply into the pushing lineup with the Jakiro. On their side, they're passing up the the Skywrath Mage, excuse me, for this pick. Very interesting. I wouldn't be opposed to a Centaur Warrior pickup from Not Today. Would give them a decent way to initiate the team fights as well as a natural mech or pipe carrier. Although at the same time it would mess up their lanes a little bit. They're going to go for the Mirana instead, and I'm kind of torn about this Mirana pickup. I think it could have been a Skywrath Mage just as easily to allow them to roam, and then if they still want the Mirana, they could go for it. I don't think Skywrath Mage is going to be picked up by either team this game. Isurus still have room for him in their lineup, and they might pick him up, but honestly, if you're going to pick up the Skywrath Mage, I think you pick him up in that first slot out of the banning stage. It's going to be Shadow Demon for Isurus, which combos well with the Jakiro, as well as taking that away from Not Today. It's a solid pick, and it can also make the Lycan a non-factor when you just put him in the bubble and ignore him for that duration of the fight. The Purge is more or less useless, as you can't take off the Shapeshift ultimate, but then again, if you're catching him out when his ultimate's down, it's still pretty good at catching him up.
Shadow Demon's also really good synergy with the Razor. If you static link someone and then put them in the bubble, then suddenly when they come out, they're going to be hitting for no damage, and Razor's going to be hitting like a truck. So this is most likely going to be the tri-lane that we're going to be seeing from Isurus. Jakiro, Shadow Demon, as well as Razor. So they're looking for one more core hero to take the offlane role. Centaur, still in the pool, and I really would love to see that from Isurus Gaming to pick that one up for themselves. The Meepo is still in. I don't think that's an impossibility for this game.
No, I don't either. It would make their lanes kind of clunky, and they'd probably have to go aggressive with the Razor tri-lane and leave the Meepo solo versus the Nature's Prophet. But it definitely could work. Lycan is very good at dealing with Meepo if you get the uptime on that one hero, or on the one Meepo if you can isolate him with something like a lift into an arrow from the Rana or a sprout into arrow. But then again, you have to get close enough to him. Those nets are going to be very annoying for the Lycan to deal with, especially if he's going to be building into the Necronomicon, which is really what he wants to be building. I don't think Isurus are going to go for the Meepo, but it's definitely not off the table. The pick for Not Today is a Rubik. Probably one of your best supports to set up from Rana Arrow outside of Shadow Demon. Bane is still in the pool, although he doesn't do very much up against a Razor or a Death Prophet. Holding them in place is obviously very nice, but then again, Death Prophet and Razor still do their damage even if they're locked down with Eye of the Storm and Exorcism, respectively. Razor more affected by that, but still, I like the Rubik pick here. There's still plenty of things that he can steal. There's very few games where Rubik's going to be an outright bad pick. There's nothing as crazy like a Fissure or an Arrow or anything like that, but still, if you can get your hands on Disruption, use that defensively, or maybe set up for an Arrow for your Mirana, pick up an Ice Path, anything along those lines.
It looks like the ban from Isurus is actually going to be a Juggernaut. I would not have expected that, but if you combo Rubik lift into Juggernaut spin, that's a decent enough combination, but Juggernaut versus Shadow Demon is not fun times for the Juggernaut, just because if you Omni Slash someone, or if you spin them, or do anything to them, they're just going to be put in that little bubble of safety, and then suddenly the Juggernaut is a little bit unhappier. Bristleback is going to be the last ban for Not Today, and I'm hoping for this Meepo pick, because Not Today, they don't have the best tools for dealing with the Meepo. They have adequate tools, as they usually will. I think Isurus, if they don't go for Meepo, it's mostly because they don't know who's in the mid lane of Not Today, and it looks like they're going to be going for a different, really soft, very awkward agility hero in the Slark. I mean, it's perfectly reasonable. It's a great hero versus Lycan. It's one of the few things that keeps him in place, and a Tinker to cap off Not Today's lineup. Now, that's a little bit interesting. I mean, Isurus Gaming, they are geared up for a little bit of push, but with this Slark pickup, their pushing is going to be mostly secondary. What they want to do, Isurus, is to push down towers a little bit, get the tier 1s perhaps, and then ride the Slark to victory.
Yeah, I don't know, the Tinker last pick kind of caught me off guard as well, but that said, we are going to jump into this game, and on the Radiant side, we are going to have Not Today, with their safe lane farmer going to be Iwo on the Lycanthrope, and his supports will be Mystico playing on the Rubik, and the other one will be Masoku on the Mirana. Mid lane is going to be Smash on his Tinker, and off lane will be Mihawk on the Nature's Prophet.
On the Isurus side, we got Dulce wearing a shark on his face. Holy crap, I need this item. That is amazing. Dulce is going to be playing the Slark Shark. Nidara is on the Shadow Demon supporting down bottom along with fullbacks Shakiro. And that means LDS, DDX, whatever you want to call him, is going to be playing the mid lane Death Prophet. Up top, it's going to be Pepita all alone as the Razor. And it looks like he will have a pretty easy lane versus Nature's Prophet. And, well, pretty much all the lanes from Isurus should be pretty damn strong, actually. Stronger than not today's, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Let's see. There is going to be a scout out of the Roshan from the Nature's Prophet. Not sure if that was entirely necessary. I don't think that Isurus really have what it takes to do a level 1 Roshan. But currently, they are going to be scouted out, or possibly not, as the train actually times out. So they might be able to find themselves a first blood. Although Rubik and Lycanthrope are both very close to the tower, they might be able to bump into this Mirana if she shows her face in an inopportune time. She's actually taking a decent amount of damage. I have no idea what from.
She ran into the Death Prophet. They exchanged a couple right clicks, and Masoku, is so lucky. If Dulce was still up there, Mirana would have been in so much trouble, but she gets to walk, and she just places an Observer Ward really nice and easily, and now it's going to probably go down towards the bottom lane. Lycan in the tri-lane versus Slark in the tri-lane, it's definitely got to be Slark all the way, especially since his supports are a little bit better at poking for now. Iwo, I don't expect, is going to be getting a lot of gold in this lane. This is just such a deadly tri-lane to go up against. If he gets put into a bubble, and then he gets ice pathed or pounced upon or anything like that, then he'll just die straight up. And LDS already taking a lot of damage over in mid. Smash going super aggressive with the laser and right clicks, bringing DDX down to use his last tango, actually, and there is no bottle in sight. This Death Prophet just got messed up really badly.
Yeah, she might be forced all the way back to base. It looks like she's going to go for one stack, potentially, with Crypt Storm. No, not even going to do that. She's going to still stick around mid, but she's missing this first creep wave worth of experience. It's not that bad since it's pushing in, and she actually won't miss any, as only one of the creeps died, and she was back for that one. But yeah, Tinker off to a wonderful start as we have an arrow attempt at top lane. Pepita's not going to die. In fact, it is going to be the Rubik down in bottom. Fullback drawing the first blood after a Disruption Pounce Ice Path, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you need. I caught the very tail end of that, but I was watching up top too, because kind of want to follow Mirana, because where arrows go, kills usually follow, but it's not the case on this bottom lane. Iwo is, as predicted, not really getting much, especially when compared to the farm of the Slark. And Misko, he's certainly not as safe as the Lycan, just having a little bit less HP than that hero. And, well, DDX in the middle lane might be in a little trouble as Masoku diving pretty deep for this one, behind the tier 1 tower, drawing the aggro of the wave. Masoku miscalculated, getting hit with the Crypt Storm and brought down. That Mirana just stop feeding, bro. It's like, that was just walking into the enemy wave for seemingly no reason. Maybe just miscounted the minutes and thought that the creep wave wouldn't be there?
I suppose so, but that's going to help Death Prophet out quite a bit, just getting a little freebie, going to make up for the fact that she was completely forced out of the wave to start things off. Bottom lane's probably we're going to see the most action, but for now, everybody's kind of waiting. The arrow is shot, not going to land. I don't know, even if that was inbound to land, I think Dulce would be fast enough on his fingers. They start with Disruption into the Ice Path. It's not going to happen very much as they do lift up the Slark base. Still able to pounce an Ewo, and the right clicks are going to be there. They're going to lose their Lycanthrope. And this is almost a perfect start for Isurus, I would say. Their tri-lane's doing wonderfully. The Razor avoided dying up top. And their Death Prophet, although she didn't have the greatest of starts, was able to get a freebie kill. And now going for the Courier. That was so close. 2 HP on that Courier.
Lucky Donkey gets to walk home alive and drink some of that fountain water, get back up. That would have been pretty much a redeeming kill on Death Prophet. Like, that gold would have pretty much equalized the lane, if not put her in the lead. As the Tinker is working with the bottle right now, Death Prophet has bottle available to her, but hasn't shipped it out just yet. She's the only lane that's not going well for Isurus. So they do go for round 2 on the bottom lane. Masoku is going to actually dodge the leap. It was missed by Dulce. Now thrown up into the air. Tower range is going to go to Talon the Slark, and that's going to be a kill. Very unfortunate for Isurus. They just mistimed it. They didn't wait for this Ice Path. Now Dara going to try to eat through the trees, but he can't get out. What the hell? He's going to get chased down by wolves, and Mirana is going to get that kill as well. That was just so unfortunate for Isurus. First of all, the Slark should have just waited until the Ice Path landed before he pounced. That's like a given. And then eating through trees to not get through the sprout, it's sometimes works out like that, and sometimes it just sucks that you just can't get out. I don't
He
know.
was blocked by wolves in there.
Oh,
He
was
couldn't walk out of there. Yeah, both of the wolves were sitting right at the tree that he munched through, and that was it. Arrow wasn't able to connect on Dulce, just slightly miscalculated there. As the Rubik, or rather the Mirana arrow timing wasn't there. Had they lined that up, the arrow is going in the right place for the Rubik, but yeah, wouldn't have been enough. 2 to 3 our kill score, not today, are striking back, but it looks like we're going to see some action in mid lane. As Stinker's going to get ganked up. If they get the disruption, he's dead. Here we go. Is he dead with the Soul Catcher? And now the Ice Path Crypt Storm, he's dead. There we go. All they need is one more auto attack. Jakiro securing that one with an auto attack. Yep, Death Prophet. Going to find herself an Illusion Rune as well. Just ill-fated rotation for the Tinker. Wanting that Illusion Rune, just a little too bad.
This is level 3 in the Jakiro, level 3 in the Shadow Demon, and they're making the rotations happen. Really, these two heroes have a lot of lockdown and a lot of setup, but not that much damage, which is, you know, the shortcomings of this dual roam. But they've been going into lanes where the hero who's been camping out in the lanes is providing all their damage, be it the Death Prophet, be it the Slark. And when you have dual breath as well as just enough setup to lock them down for long enough to land all those skills, then it's pretty easy as Pepita gets hit with an arrow up on top lane. Isurus, they were preparing for aggression to go for Mihawk. They did not expect Misoku to be there as well and land that arrow.
Yeah, this Mirana, she's died once after the casual feed in mid, but if you discount that one, she's been involved in every single kill from Not Today and has made her presence known around the map. They don't have the greatest setup for those arrows, but she's making it count. Let's see. The Lycanthrope down bottom is getting a little bit more room to work with as the Jakiro and Shadow Demon are up top, but the Slark shouldn't die in this lane ever unless he gets arrowed, and with the Mirana rotating around, that's not going to happen. And currently Mirana looking for an arrow onto the Tinker potentially. I don't think this is going to land, but if it does, Smash is going to fall. Let's see. Or rather, I misspoke, DDX.
Yeah, the illusion is going to time out, so Death Prophet doesn't have that buffer. They're going to get a lift up onto Dulce. He has a pounce out, but the telekinesis actually didn't bring him behind the Lycan to stall him up a little bit longer. So Dulce, as predicted, is going to survive in this lane. But there's a difference between surviving the lane and actually farming the lane, and right now they want that Slark to farm. Granted, Pepita is getting a lot of farm up on top, but dying once is not exactly the best case scenario for him. They are going to try to go for this tower with 2 points in Liquid Fire to their name, and, well, they don't have DDX in the area either. Nidara's just going to come up here, and it looks like it'll just be a casual push up on top. It might bring down the tower, as fortification is being forced by the Dire. Here comes the arrow, Nidara going to tank that one with his face. Never a good idea, and Misoku is going to close in for some hurt, but he's going to hit pretty hard. Fullback taking tower shots, though. This is going to be the death of the Jakiro. Free kill for the tower as Pepita going to get, Nidara rather, going to get chased down. Pepita also going to salve, but he instantly gets a cancel as the Ninja Prophet teleports in, jacks the kill, and then runs away. Oh man, it's 2 free kills going the way of Not Today as Isurus get a little bit too over-aggressive, seeing a Mirana all alone, but it was bait the entire time.
Yeah, it really was. I don't know, when everybody was so low, I was thinking to myself, well, what if there was a hero that could TP and get all those kills? And that hero was Mihawk, able to secure the last one on the Shadow Demon. But yeah, really nice arrow to set those up. That's pretty much the hero you want to hit with your arrows, is the defensive disruption. Although it's not going to save you from the stun, it is going to make sure that you're not taking damage during the stun duration. So yeah, Mihawk, it looks like he's going to be building in towards an Orchid this game. After 2 Null Talismans, that could just be Power Treads. Or it could be Blade Mail, either way.
Either way, it's Ninja Prophet ready to fight pretty early. Another indication of that fighting early is the fact that Lycan has picked up Howl level 3, even though he's level 5. So these wolves are pretty freaking useless. Like, they don't hit very hard, and they're not going to be able to tank much damage. But everything else on Not Today's side, they have a lot of base damage, and now Fullback is going to get hit with another arrow. Misoku is going to try to draw the static link from Pepita, but the damage just isn't there just yet. This tower's still in a little bit of trouble as Pepita looking for a static link potentially up on top. But this tower, Isurus, they thought they were going to have it for free, but Not Today. They're making them work for every single point of damage. Now the tower's in deny range, and it looks like they should be gearing to go for it. With Nature's Prophet's Treants running interference, they're going to start working on their own tower. This is going to be really close. It will be a tower denied for Nature's Prophet. Isurus get that denied away from them. It's a pretty nice win for Not Today, and now they're going to go for Dulce down on bottom, but killing the Slark is very ambitious. The Slark's actually going to turn around. The Pounce misses, unfortunately for him. He has an Orb of Venom, and he might get enough damage onto the Rubik to bring him down. The right click's not quite going to be enough, and the body block from Ewo is going to deny Dulce another Pounce forward. The Wolves are there, and the Crypt Swarm, will just barely clip the Rubik. Now the rest of his Isurus are also down in this bottom lane. DDX does not have level 9, so he doesn't have another Exorcism point. However, it looks like they'll go for this regardless. So they also go for top lane. Pepita is going to get Wrath of Nature soon enough, although right clicks will do it in the end. It's just a bloodbath this game, and it looks like it'll be a push on bottom as well. So this is going to be a free tower for Isurus. The second tower of the game, though, the first one was denied.
Yeah. The first one, first one that's going to be taken by Isurus, I don't think will be denied with Liquid Fire, as well as the maxed out Witchcraft Exorcism level 1. They'll be able to take this very effectively, and yeah, nobody's going to show their face. Lycanthrope is trying to do the best of his ability to jungle, but as you've already mentioned, the maxed out Howl build coming out from Ewo, it's going to benefit the Nature's Prophet quite a bit with his Treants hitting for almost double damage, but then again, it's also sacrificing his Wolves' ability to do much of anything. DDX is going to run out of the Exorcism. They have an Invis Rubik that takes a bunch of damage from that Plasma Field, but he's going to steal something Plasma Field stolen. Now, not going to lift anybody up as they look for the last on the tower. Tinker going to get that one, but it looks like Rubik's going to give up his life, or maybe not. They pull DDX back into the March Machine, just shreds him a new one. The Rockets aren't going to be enough with that last auto attack, and those stick charges coming in huge for DDX as he comes away with a killing spree. But still, Tinker getting the last hit on the tower. This Tinker, we haven't seen much of him, as not a lot of actions happen in his lane, but that's just how Tinker likes it. He's going to finish up the farm for his Boots of Travel after this stack and then taking of the creep camp.
Unfortunately, he had his Ancients blocked for quite a long time, so he couldn't get that going, but after this camp is cleared, he'll have his Boots of Travels, and that's not the fastest Boots of Travel I've ever seen, but it's still perfectly adequate, especially considering how much pressure Not Today have been under from Isurus Gaming. There's an Exorcism up in 30 seconds, and Nadara, or not, why do I keep on saying Nadara? It's fullback on the Jakiro is going to narrowly dodge that one, but Not Today, they're not quite ready to go just yet. This Lycan needs so many more levels in order to get fully online, because Wolves level 1 are pretty terrible, like they're just completely useless. Howl is good, but he really just needs levels in all of his other skills, so levels on the Lycan, also potentially a Necro Book with this Belt of Giant Strength. Not Today, they're going to want to stall out for just a little while longer, and really there's not a better hero to have on your team if you want to stall out than a Tinker, as they do go in for Smash Mid. It's Crypt Swarms being thrown either way. It's actually Misko stealing that, though he's completely out of mana, so Rubik pretty useless here. The tower is going to be denied. Get it. Oh, it's Death Prophet who gets it. And it's going to be this another mid lane tower going to go down, whereas Nature Prophet up on top rather is going to get a tower denied. That's like 2-3 towers denied, something like that.
It's one denied tower from each team, and then 2 last hits for each team, or rather, only 1 for Not Today's. The bottom 2-1 still stands. But yeah, a lot of denies. It's going to equal out, and I would expect the graphs to reflect that pretty evenly. If you look at the net worth chart, it's almost completely zeroed out. Slight advantage for Not Today, but that's going to dip down after the Nature's Prophet gets his tower gold added to there. The Death Prophet, if you look at the farm distribution, she's really the only one that's on par with where you want her to be. She has a completed Yule Scepter and is farming incredibly well. 3-0-1, as well as sitting on par with the Tinker's CS, a little bit behind, but still enough to warrant it. The heroes that are lacking are the Razor, who's died twice. Despite getting Save Flame farm, he still has his mechanism. So that's pretty much all he needs. And the Slark, who has a Blink Dagger now. Okay, Arrow, attempted top going to land on new creep, doesn't matter, but they do TP in the Nature's Prophet, who has a Sprout, not going to throw it out. He already used his Pounce, so he wouldn't have been able to get out of that, but they probably wouldn't have had the damage anyway. So yeah, Blink Dagger on Slark's going to be a new level of aggression for him. I really like the Blink Dagger on Slark. I'm part of the party that doesn't like the Shadow Blaze. An Arrow, fullback, going to be shot right in the tail with that one, and now he's going to be right-clicked down. He's just standing there too long to survive. He'll get an Ice Path, and it catches too. Now with the rotation from DDX is the double silence, but with the Blade Mail and Nature Buff, they can't really go for that one. Now the Tinker also TPing in Misoku is going to be just fine.
Nice little pick off on the Jakiro. Really, these Mirana's arrows have been pretty much on point. As you said a little bit earlier, she's been involved in 100% of the kills, and that still stands. 3-1-4 off of 7 kills. This Mirana has been setting up every single kill that Not Today have been taking thus far, and really every single kill you get is just more time where Ewo is going to get his levels up. He has now level 3 Wolves, a lot more useful than level 1 Wolves, and is very close to his first level book. Rubik in the middle lane is going to get pounced upon by the blinking Slark, and he'll be very easily brought down, but it's only a support hero, so this kill score is tied, and here comes Mihawk to clean up. He's going to get a kill on the Shadow Demon. Now the Blade Mail is active. Dulce, thinking about hitting the Nature's Prophet, is going to reconsider. Nature's Prophet is going to jump in, get a free kill, and then jump out. We still have yet to see this terrifying push from Not Today, but really, it's going fine for them even without it. Lycan as a late game hero is perfectly reasonable. You don't have to always be pushing with him. You can, but you don't have to.
Yeah. The Nature's Prophet, as far as this build is concerned, we're talking about what that early Robe of the Magi would be turned into, whether Treads, Blade Mail, or Orchid. Well, it's going to be all three, as Mihawk's working towards a Oblivion Staff as his next item. Roshan attempt coming out from Isurus, it's not the fastest Roshan, but it's decent enough with level 11 Exorcism as well as the Liquid Fire to slow down attack speed. They can do it, although they need the Razor's mechanism very soon.
Well, they're grinding through it, and Not Today. It looks like they're going to force a fight down on bottom. Dulce and Idara are more than capable of killing off a hero, especially if they get the Blink Pounce correct. And with Roshan dropping pretty low, it'll be just nothing but a win for Isurus Gaming, as they will take out the Roshan without any form of contest from Not Today. They don't lose a tower, they don't even get pressured anywhere, really. And it's going to be a Hand of Midas pickup from the Death Prophet, really, after Yule's Scepter. That's a little bit curious. This is Isurus saying that they want to gear up for the late game, but Death Prophet is, though she does benefit from a lot of items, isn't one of those heroes that benefits a lot, like Lycan or Mirana or a Tinker who gets so good with gold. Death Prophet just gets a little bit better with gold.
But then again, Death Prophet gets really good at level 16. The bounce of power with Exorcism getting that extra amount of spirits is really huge. She's going to use her scepter up in the air to avoid those rockets. They're not going to set up onto her, and DDX is going to be just fine. At 14 minutes in, it's not actually a very late Midas. At 11 minutes in, that's usually when it's bad, but DDX, he's looking for that kill. Not going to find out on the Mirana after taking a lot of damage to the March. Yeah, running through that with that extra movement speed is really scary. As now they're looking in the sidelines, they find nobody. Slark just going to throw a Blink Pounces. The one who's getting gone on is Mihawk. With the Blade Mail, they don't want to right-click him just yet, but now the Eye of the Storm Blade Mail is going to wear off, and now they're just going to whip him down with Razor's Electric Whip. They're going to be able to bring that down. Jakiro gets a kill, and, well, Ice Path for good measure, just to make sure that they don't have anything teeping out from under them. Smash is going to farm a Seven of Ancients, while Lycanthrope gets a tower. So it's not all bad for Not Today. With that last exchange, one stack of enemy Ancients as well as a tier 1. It's still pretty solid for them. I think the biggest reasoning behind this Midas pickup for Death Prophet is that we're not going to be able to end this early on because the Tinker is going to be able to counteract the push as well as just the split push from Nature's Prophet. So I might as well just wait until 30-40 minutes when I can get a lot of big items faster. As the Chigoro gets lifted up inside the jungle, follow-up arrow, beautifully comboed by them. They'll bring down fullback. DDX is inbound, and with the silence on both of them, now the Slark pouncing in onto Mystico. Mystico is going to fall, although it is going to be delayed by the Ice Path stolen. Mirana still being pursued by DDX as well. Leap down to low ground. The Rubik is the one to die after all is said and done. Looking for a cross turn. Ooh, DDX not going to find it as Misoki's just hugging the back end of that Death Prophet. Yeah. When you're invis and you're looking to avoid it, that's the way to play it. If you're expecting them to shoot a skill shot, just hug next to them. Because if you're turning around with them, they're not going to be able to find you. Is the Slark going to pounce up top? Fighting up against Dulce. He's going to healed up by the mechanism. Mihawk, that Blade Mail not going to save you there, although it was dangerously close for the Slark. Yeah.
And now on the bottom lane, they're going to go for Smash, who almost teleported out, but it's not going to quite cut it. He's going to turn around and go for fullback with the March of the Machine's damage. It's going to be huge, but now he's going to go into the enemy base. That's not where you want to go, Smash. I don't think he could escape this one. Tower? No. What's it going to be? Fountain? Die a noble death in the fountain? Run away, Smash. Run away. He's going for it. I mean, he's almost out, unless this tower just kills him, which it will. Unfortunate. It does give the kill to the Jakiro, but a whole bunch of trades going back and forth, and then at the end of the day, it is bottom lane tier 2 tower going down as Lycan just making his home down here with the level 2 book. Also put a lot of hurt onto this tier 2 tower. Not today. They're actually forcing Isurus to spend a lot of time just moving around the map. Teleportation scrolls, just blinks and running around while they get what they want. They get farm. They trade a couple kills here and there, but at the end of the day, I think Not Today should be happy with how they're playing out this game, especially once the Tinker respawns. The Lycan should have his level 3 book by then, and or close to then, and then they could continue to push top and bottom at the exact same time. And really, Isurus, they can't dedicate only one hero to deal with this Lycan. They need at least 2, and then they need everyone else to go on top lane. And then I don't know if they're going to win, as fullback can get initiated upon by the Tinker. Unfortunately, he has a very low point in rearm, and fullback getting teleported upon. He's going to catch Mihawk with the Ice Path. Sprout is there, though. missiles, going to clip him before Nidara can get the disruption out. He will get the disruption regardless on the Nature's Prophet, but Smash is still here, putting out a lot of hurt, and it looks like the Blade Mail from Mihawk is not going to do it. He actually doesn't even have it, as Dulce is just going to very easily clean up the hero. Now Iwo going to man-fight Dulce, not a good idea, Lycan. Going in that direction is also not good. However, Smash is going to come and annihilate the Slark, and now they're both in this corner. There's a teleportation attempt out from the Lycan. He's going to stick the landing. Smash as well, trying to juke it out, but he's blocked up and he can't get out. But DDX up into the air. Nature's Prophet. Oh, it's actually the Yule Scepter which gets the kill. Beautifully played. And now in the middle lane, they're going to try to go for Nidara. He's also going to go down to Wolves. Not today. They make a whole bunch of extremely messy trades, but I think they get the upper hand in this.
I would say so as well. It's the saddest thing to watch when Wolves are chasing down a support because there's nothing you can do. He had a defensive disruption at the very end, but that's not going to save you. Yeah. Poor Shadow Demon. Lycanthrope completely has caught up in his levels, as now he has the maxed out Howl and the Wolves. Maxed out Necrobook. Lycanthrope's hit his stride, and I don't think there's a way that Isurus can actually find a good exchange. Macropart is stolen by the Rubik. It's an okay spell to steal, but not if you have no arcane boots on your team. I don't think they have a single pair. No, they don't. I'd like to see him pick those up after the Ghost Scepter, but Ghost Scepter is going to keep him alive from the Death Prophet as well as the Slark, and this Rubik, he's going to have a pretty solid time in these fights. I don't think that, yeah, not today or under very much pressure at all right now because of how many heroes that Isurus have to commit to stopping the split push from the Tinker, Nature's Prophet, and Lycanthrope. Just stick one of those in each of the lanes, and there's nothing they can do. Nature's Prophet, he's going to TP out fine. He now has his completed Orchid at 20 minutes in on top of a Blade Mail, Knolls, and Power Treads, looking just fine in that way, and they'll be able to bring down the Slark a lot easier because of it. Smash taking a lot of damage from the Death Prophet, and think he's going to be able to TP out alive, but the Death Prophet is, or rather, oh, who am I talking about? Yeah, everybody's going to survive. We're fine.
Alright, so it looks like it will be the Lycan going towards the mid lane with his Wolves scouting Nidara, but here comes Tinker teleporting in on the Invisible Wolf. Suddenly, Tinker's out of nowhere. Blink Laser, there it is. No bubble's going to save you there. Smash gets a free kill, spotted out by Lycan's Invisibility Wolves, and now they're looking for an arrow. Dulce and LDS will both dodge that one, but Nature's Prophet threatening the teleportation in. The Smash is just spamming out those missiles. Jump forward. They're getting lift up onto Dulce. Macropyre's there as well. The damage onto the Slark will just barely not be enough with the mech, but they're all going to fight anyway. Fullback now going to be focused down by the tree and taking a lot of damage there from the Wolf, and he's going to be brought down. Now the Exorcism active and up in the air. Masoka going to land an arrow point blank onto Pepita. Won't get that kill either. Both LDS and Pepita will get away just barely with their lives, but it's going to be the mid lane, which is going to be taken. And now I think top lane could also be taken, as Iwo, not that healthy, but he's going to very quickly regenerate himself up with the Urn, as well as the Vlad's lifesteal. Isurus, they're just getting pressured too hard right now, and the farm that's coming up from this Tinker is absolutely annihilating the Isurus side, and well, they're going to go for top lane. Pepita is teleporting in. Mihawk is not that healthy, but here comes the Tinker potentially. Nidara's going to get silenced, and going to get Shadow Poison stolen from him. It's actually an incredibly useful skill to steal as Rubik, just to get a little bit of scouting action, but Nidara going to put someone in a bubble. Instantly annihilated, though. Here comes Smash on the side. The Ice Path is going to land a Misco, so it will be a 1-for-1 trade, although with the Ghost Scepter, he'll buy himself a little bit more time to live. Throws another Telekinesis just for shits and giggles, but he will go down at the end, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, but man, this Tinker on the back of those Lycan Wolves is just absolutely terrifying. He could come at you from anywhere, and then blow you up, and then blink away, and that's scary.
Yeah, how hard must it be to be fullback or Nidara in this game? It's just, I don't know, you can't be safe anywhere unless you're right under a tower like fullback is currently. Yeah, Tinker comes in up top. They're going to blink in a little bit. I think I might be losing my voice or getting sick or something, because my voice does not sound right. But Tinker is going to refresh on the sidelines, and Laser's fullback, Dagon. Oh, that's your Jakiro down, and he's just going to casually TP away as he gets forced out. The Slark is focused on Masoka. Masoka is going to beat the trade here. But yeah, down in bottom, Lycanthrope pushing. He can bring the Tinker into the Wolves, and that's exactly what they're going to do. That's a little deep, but now they have the Nature's Prophet as well. Orchid looking for the Sprout. They're going to blink forward. There's the Orchid now. She's going to Yule Scepter herself up into the air, and that's going to purge that off. Well, that Smash, he's going to Laser over the Razor. Even though he's stealing a decent amount of damage, he can't utilize it very effectively. Death Prophet skids away with very little HP. Smash is going to be able to go Scepter, TP out with Boots of Travel, and they're going to be able to get out fine. But a lot of spells being used either way.
Just a super interesting game right now. The aggression is pretty much non-stop as the Tinker and the Slark are just going to town everyone. Misco in the Ghost Scepter is going to save himself from the Slark's damage, but here comes the Tinker. He'll be blinking the wrong way. The damage onto Dulce not quite enough to save his Rubik buddy, and now Dulce in the corner is going to completely juke out Smash. Well played, Slark.
Definitely well played. Just finding a nice little nook in the trees to hide where Tinker is blinking, and then he blinks the exact opposite way. So yeah, Slark going to regen, going to be pretty happy with how that went, and it looks like we're going to see an Orchid build from our Slark. I'm kind of torn on this. It's going to be very useful for picking off solo heroes, and with the Blink Dagger, it's definitely pretty solid. Also, just having constant mana is going to be very useful for him, as he doesn't have to worry about his health much. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's what they really need this game. The Orchid against Tinker is obviously going to be annoying for him. It's good against Lycanthrope and Nature's Prophet as well. I'm not sure if just getting a different item altogether, maybe like a Basher or just go straight for Scotty, would have been a little bit more useful. We'll have to see. He's still a ways away from that. As Roshan scouted out, and it looks like that's where Not Today are going to head, and Nature's Prophet can more or less just solo this one up. They'll probably bring the Lycanthrope, but with Howl damage and just another Summon of Trees, that's pretty much all that this Nature's Prophet's going to need.
Masoku's in a little bit of trouble. He will teleport out before a Yule Cyclone or an Ice Path can land, and well, Roshan is already dropped pretty low without too much commitment from the Not Today side. They're going to go up from top, though. Beta is sprouted out, and the Wolves are right on top of him. The damage might be enough. It will be enough with a crit from Ewo. That Shapeshift giving him that damage. That's going to be a free kill for him. Now a Tier 2 tower as well. With the Razor down, they might even go for more. I mean, they have the Treants, they have the Howl, they have Necro units who are still about half duration left. And fullback is probably going to be forced to use Macropyre in order to actually defend this. In the meantime, middle lane, Smash is going to try to go for Dulce, but he's just going to end up forcing the Slark out. They're going to slide mid, in fact, and try to get this set of this Tier 3 tower. Tinker now picking up his Ethereal Blade will shortly return to this fight and then look to obliterate pretty much whoever he can get his hands on. It's a huge leap of power for him. Arrow going to fly, not hit up to anyone, but the Tinker is there. And now is when Tinker gets a little bit scary. He has level 2 rearm, could get a little bit stronger. He gets silenced though, it's just kind of unfortunate. So he wasted a lot of mana, but they're just sliding all around these lanes, looking for kills wherever they could find them. Throwing out arrows whenever it's on cooldown. And Isurus, their base is pretty much the only safe part in the map. That's the only part where they actually have any control. Despite the fact that bottom lane is pushed out so much, the potential for Not Today to jump in on you with Nature's Prophet, with the Boots of Travel Tinker, on Lycan's Invisible Wolves is just too threatening for them to leave and be comfortable with leaving their base.
And we are getting close to an Assault Cuirass on our Lycanthrope. These items are going to come out in a big way. They might be able to find Nature's Prophet up top. Mihawk is sticking around, but no, he'll blink away. They're not going to be able to find him. They are being spotted out only by one ward from the Radiant team. I actually don't think it's giving them enough vision in order to I don't know, scout this out. I'd like to see the Lycanthrope use his wolves a little bit more aggressively, but currently, he's inside the Roshan pit. Nobody else is there, but with Howl damage, he should be able to take this, although it's not the fastest Roshan. There is going to be an arrow that's going to land onto Roche. Let's see. There is Moonlight Shadow, and they're breaking the fight out over in the top. They're going to find Smash in the trees. They break it with the Macropyre. He's going to Ethereal Blade himself and then just TP out. There's no damage. Well, there is your Ghost Scepter, or rather, oh my goodness, Yule Scepter. To throw him up in the air, cancel him down. That's 63 seconds without a Tinker. Now the Lycanthrope, he's being munched apart by those Ghosts from the Death Prophet, and he's going to die. Papita also with 224 stolen damage from that Tinker. That was not a place the Lycanthrope could go. And now they're just going to be in full retreat as they're going to catch out one more, so Rubik gets ripped to shreds by those wolves, or not the wolves, but by those spirits as well as the Slark. Into Roshan pit, it's going to be Isurus that they go, and Masoku looking potentially for a steal, but I think he's going to die. No, he'll be able to TP out just in time. The Slark didn't have enough damage for mana for a Dark Pact. Yeah, so Roshan is going to be the prize for Isurus after a very crummy way for Not Today to start that fight. I don't really have the words for it right now, but Tinker just getting caught out in a very awkward situation. And, I don't know, it was a good attempt by him to try to Ethereal Blade TP out, but it was enough. Roshan going to fall.
Mihawk's in the area, and he's got to be careful because the blinking Slark is always very threatening, though Nature's Prophet will blink out and survive. Once the Tinker falls, I think Not Today, they can no longer afford to fight that one, because you need Tinker to always be in that fight providing that damage. Mihawk now can get thrown up into the air by fullback, and Arrow's going to come through and hit fullback. Mihawk returning a lot of the damage with the Blade Mail also. That's going to be the death of the Jakiro, and Smash wants more. He needs a rearm, though, and it'll take him a little bit too long to actually get that done. They pick off the Jakiro in exchange for Roshan, but really, if Smash dies, Not Today, unless they're on the cusp of winning a fight, they cannot afford to start a fight because Tinker is pretty much all of their damage. Lycan is a good amount of damage, but not versus the Death Prophet, who has the Plate Mail as well as a Heart of Trask. Not against the Razor with the Mech and an Aghanims or Aghanim components. They're going to try to go for LDS. Mihawk, I don't know why you're attacking the tower. Dulce's going to come right in for the pounce on the Mihawk. Getting a lot of damage returned, though, because of the Blade Mail. Now Mihawk dropping very low. He will go down to the Shadow Demon of all people. Still March the Machines are being layered, but not today. They're just playing this a little bit too aggressively, I would say. Like, get the kills, yes, but don't dive a tier 3 to try to get a Death Prophet. She's not going to die to that. She almost has her Shiva's Guard completed. And she has a heart. She's pretty much invulnerable at this point, unless the Not Today side 100% dedicate every single hero they have to nuking her down. And even then, it's a lot of time spent, and if it's in the enemy base, there's going to be reinforcements. So this Death Prophet Hand of Might is really going great for her thus far, as she's pretty much unkillable now from the Not Today side. They have to kill off everyone else first, and that's going to be a much more realistic task to kill everyone else but the Death Prophet, but it'll also take them a lot of time and a lot of just jostling around in the fights to smash in a little bit of trouble, and he's got to be the one to survive. Double March in the Machines is down, though. He gets thrown up into the air, hits through the Ice Path as well, has the Ghost Scepter, and he's going to shotgun down Pita, now trying to rearm Teleportate away, but Dulce is going to come in and clean that Tinker up. The Razor's going to respawn due to his Aegis, and Misko is going to survive as the Nature's Prophet. Where is the Nature's Prophet? He's going to get the kill onto the Jakiro with his ultimate, I believe. Now teleporting down to the bottom lane. Where's the Lycan? He's up top at LDS, as well as Dulce going to try to go for Misoku. They'll bring him down very easily, but now the tier 3 tower is down. Mihawk trying to get into the enemy base to buy a TP. He will be successful. Yule Scepter not available, not used actually, by DDX. So the Nature's Prophet gets out. They take a tier 3 tower, but these trades are starting to get just way too messy for anyone's comfort, I think.
Yeah, I would say that that's fair. It's not really in favor of either team. Not Today still have a pretty comfortable advantage, seeing about 10,000 gold, but experience is in the favor of Isurus, although not as impressive. It's about 7,000, although the heroes up at the top of the level department are still looking pretty good for Not Today, and all of their supports are above level 11 as Razor finds a kill on the Rubik that was doing something there. I have no idea what it was. It's the Nature's Prophet TP's in, potentially looking for Shadow Demon, who's found who. He is blocked in by those illusions, but Nadera can fight up against this with the vision. The Orchitect should be enough to get that kill, but Mihawk is going to give his life for it, and the Courier is also going to die. That is Dyer's Courier. I didn't see where that actually fell. Was that just like over by the sidelines where Nature's Prophet was right-clicking? No. Looks like it fell to his treants. Yep.
So Isurus, they saved the Courier for the first part, where the Nature's Prophet was trying to kill the Courier, but then they, I guess, stalled out and they forgot to move the Courier away, and the Treants just had at the Courier, and well, that's going to be a nice little win for Not Today, but ultimately the score is tied up. Not Today still in favor of gold, but experience very slowly starting to bend the way of Isurus. They're giving up more and more kills. Misoku is going to be the next one. No Orchid just yet on the Slark. Force snap out from Misoku, and here comes the Tinker. This is not what Slark really wants to see. Where did the Tinker go? He canceled it. Okay, that's fair enough, I guess. As Death Prophet trying to chase down this Mirana, and Death Prophet, almost at max moon speed, should be able to chase down Misoku, especially if she lands this silence. Crypt Swarm is going to be enough, catching her midair, in fact. That's going to be another kill for the Death Prophet. 9, 1, and 5. DDX is just going to town on everybody. And Not Today, well, they've kind of run out of steam, I feel like. They're still trying to do that whole split push thing, like put one hero on every lane, and try to get towers, try to get tier 3s. And try to get Raxes, but wherever they go, they're just getting picked apart by Isurus, and they're giving up a lot of gold.
Yeah, I still think that they're in a pretty comfortable situation, but they can't play as aggressively as there. They need to start, I don't know, just chilling. Keep the lanes pushed into the enemy base, abuse your jungle farm, just sap all of the farm out of the map until your Tinker can get his next item. Scythe of Ice would be wonderful for him, or Bloodstone, if that's how Smash rolls, I suppose, is fine too. But yeah, they still have plenty of room to grow on their heroes. The Death Prophet's the highest farm hero on the map, and that's fine, I think, for Not Today. They can ignore her for the most part. But yeah, they need to keep them bottled up. They can't give these little freebies here and there to Isurus. That's not how you play a split pushing game. Yeah, Slark is going to abandon the hopes of getting an Orchid and is holding onto a Mystic Staff. I don't know what this Slark build is. I have no idea. It's going to be a Scythe of Ice, almost for sure. Shiva's Guard's already up on the Death Prophet, but then again, why not just finish the Orchid?
Yeah, it's going to be a Stray Oblivion Staff, which is a pretty terrible item. I mean, it's an okay item in itself, but it's just way too expensive for what it is. Misoku is going to be once again in a lot of trouble. Here comes Dulce with the pounce on Misoku. Suddenly no escape. This Mirana has been picked off like 3 times in a row without doing jack in between those revivals, so It's kind of an awkward situation for Not Today because they're trying to go for the split push, but they're just not able to get it. As Duel say, with the Blink Dagger, I mean, he doesn't actually do that much damage to Slark, but he's still just keeping people in place so that everyone else could do the damage, and that's perfectly serviceable at the moment. Not Today, they're still trying to just choke Isurus out of their resources. They're sending Treant Wave after Treant Wave into these towers, the tier 3s and whatnot, but they're just not getting that much done. Like, I don't know when the last time Not Today I've actually taken a fight, but the last time it went very well for Isurus, and unless they pull something big out of the hat Not Today, they're kind of stalled out right now and just giving lots of more farm to Isurus. Lycan is getting bigger, but very, very slowly, unless he has a big item here. No, he doesn't. He is farming incredibly slowly, in fact, after the Assault Cuirass. It's rather uninspiring. He's going to be the heavy late game for him as well as the Tinker for the Not Today side, but Isurus, they're holding strong right now, and they're just getting more and more experience and gold after every single pick-off, on the Mirana mostly. Now they're looking for Rubik, or for anyone they could possibly find as they're smoked up, and they will run into Ewo. If they get him thrown up into the air, that'll be his death, because you know BKB, there he is. Ice Path, very easy, and right clicks, kill the wolf, there's the wolf.
Yep, arrow landed on Pepita, but no follow-up for that. The Tinker does have a pretty big dagon, and he's TPing into the creep wave. Potentially we'll find a kill on the Death Prophet here. He needs a couple more rearms of that, and now the silence canceling the rearm. That's the end of the dreams of that kill. It's up in top. They are fighting up against Mihawk. They're trying to chase him down. He has the Blade Mail pop, but I don't think Pepita really cares, as he'll start chasing him down. And now that the Blade Mail is off, there's no reason to not right-click this. On the other backlines of the fight, we are going to have Mystico being dropped down by the Slark, as well as the Jakiro. Nature's Prophet makes his way back to base, finishing up his Mjolnir. And these fights are just so spread out. We do have an Exorcism pop by LDS. He can't really go for Smash. Well, now he can. He's silenced up. He's forced to Ethereal Blade, then TP out. He's fine. No way to cancel that one with the exception of the Yule Scepter. It was already used. A lot of cooldowns, and still Isurus come out on top. Not Today find nothing, and give away their Lycanthrope as well as the Rubik.
And Not Today, they're slowly running out of things to do. They're continuously trying to do this whole split pushing game, but they haven't taken a good fight yet, as LDS does get initiated upon by the Tinker, but between Yule Scepter and Silence, this Death Prophet doesn't have much to fear from this Tinker. She could easily turn around and just do exactly this. She's not going to get the kill on the Tinker, but the Tinker sure as hell isn't going to get the kill on her either. Nature's Prophet teleporting in, and well, Not Today, they've just lost 4 heroes since last I checked, and they haven't gained a single thing. Like, they're not even putting damage on the tier 3s anymore, or if they are, it's going to be negligible amounts. It's like they've stalled out right in front of the enemy's base, and they can't break the high ground. That is the hardest part in one of these competitions, just actually going for the high ground and trying to take the Raxes. So it's kind of understandable, but the fact that they haven't means that the Isurus team, they're just getting so much more time to get whatever the hell they want, and it might just be Roshan, which is respawning soon enough. Not Today, their late game is still pretty intense, but it's just not coming together right now.
Yeah, Death Prophet getting dangerously close, being 6-slotted with the Scythe, as well as the Scythe on the Slark. They're going to find Masoku on the high ground in the Ice Path, but they don't follow that up. It's just going to be D-Ward Mist, and 4-staff over to the side, 4-staff back to the ground. Masoku is going to survive for now. No pounce coming out from the Slark is going to catch her out. So that's going to be out all she wrote, as the top lane is pushing in with Necronomicons as well as the Treants. But they have plenty of tools to counteract this push. Even with the Howl, they're not going to be able to put much damage on anything. They'll be able to put a little bit of chip on the range barracks, but that's unimportant at this point. Oh, actually, that's not. If they can actually get it, and it looks like they will, as the Slark is fighting down and bottom up against Smash. Not sure how the range barracks are looking, and well, the 4-staffs are still chasing through. The range barracks are going to be glyphed up, and they will survive for now, as nobody's actually going to die, and nothing's going to fall. Roshan is back up, and now they're looking for that range barracks. Only 68 HP. That's a win for Not Today. They've finally been able to find something, even if it's only a little bit. Now the Tinker TP's in. Potentially just scare tactics, because he is going to get Ice Path up, and now the Lycanthrope gets that lane. They're going to burst down the Shouting, just blown to shreds by Smash, but Smash is burning in the fire and the flames. Now with the Razor jumping in, he's going to Ethereal up that Plasma Field. That's going to be a dominating spree for the Razor, as well as the Tinker down. That's definitely not worth it. They do get a lane down in bottom, or just the range barracks, however. So 2 range barracks for the Tinker's life. I'm not sure if that's worth it. Let's see. Arrow to fly, going to land on the Pepita as the TP wave from the Nature's Prophet is secured. But it's still something. Let's see, Lycanthrope is also going to drop to DDX. So spread out and so messy, but finally, Not Today finds something.
And Mihawk teleports in, finishes off the bottom lane, sprouts himself, but the Courier's there to provide some vision. Ice Path as well. Mihawk does have a buyback, so his death isn't the worst, as he did trade his life for the bottom lane of Raxus. And also, Misko, why are you still here, Rubik? I don't know what you're doing. He's going to get chased down by Pepita, and he doesn't actually have a TP scroll either, so Misko's just completely screwed. He's biding time for something. I guess he's just wasting Pepita's time, but at the end of the day, not today. They don't take many kills. They only kill one hero, I think, if any, but
yeah.
They lose a couple of heroes, lose 4 in fact, but they take a racks and a half worth of gold, and wow, that disruption was wonky as hell. But they're going to catch Misoku as well, who for some reason decided it'll be a good idea to go 1v5. Isurus, they have a really nice opportunity here to go really deep into the Not Today's base, but if this doesn't actually lead anywhere, then they're going to be a racks and a half down. And between March of the Machines and missile spam, this push is going to be very, very difficult for Isurus to actually get anything done.
Yeah, this game just got a whole lot easier for Not Today. They've finally done something. Exorcism is up, and it's going to get through the Tier 2 tower very quickly. Now into the Tier 3. They're fighting in a couple stacks of March, but DDX doesn't actually care all that much. They're going to pop the Glyph, and with the Eye of the Storm Aghanims upgrade, well, DDX is going to care about that. The Ethereal Blade Dagon combo doing a whole heck of a lot. Both the Disruption and now the Exorcism is going to wear out after the Eul Scepter comes down. Will be healed back up to full, so he's going to be fine. But they will be repelled off at the high ground. The Tier 3 tower didn't even fall. So, Not Today. I think they've found a little bit of a groove here that they can work with throughout the rest of this game. They're starting to access their late game. Their Tinker currently not working towards the Scythe of Vice, but he has enough gold in order to be extremely relevant in these teamfights. As the Eul Scepter up the lycanthrope in mid. He's going to get the shapeshift up, but only barely 4-step away. I think he's going to survive. Another Eul Scepter comes up. It is going to drop him down, but they don't have any more lockdown to keep him in place. Scythe of Vice not going to help you when he's running at hasted speed. Now the arrow. Oh, Dagon combo just blows up the Shadow Demon. There is the gem on the deck. Now they lift up DDX. DDX is going to be just fine. Ice Path going to zone them out to smash. I'm not sure actually secured the gem. It is Misoku here as they force that forward looking for DDX. They're going to find him, but no lockdown. They're just going to continue looking for the body block as they hex up the Tinker and then Eul Scepter up into the Ice Path. The arrow is going to land on fullback, and they're trying to focus down this Jakiri. He's a lot easier to kill, but then again, so is the Rubik. The Rubik's being focused down. The Crypt Storm going to be amplified by the Ghost Scepter. Now they lift up DDX. They're trying to focus it down. Smash needs a little bit more mana. They need one more combo. The Crypt Storm is going to kill off the Rubik as DDX is still surviving. One more auto attack is all that they need, and that's a wicked 6-3 for the Mirana. I need to go get a drink. Sorry about that.
Alright, I'll take it from here, because in the meantime, Nature's Prophet Mihawk has taken down the entirety of the top lane. Not today, they take a fight that is so scattered and one that just takes so long. Soku's going to get pounced upon by the Slark, but I don't think Not Today really care at the moment. They're 1 racks away from for sure victory, but Smash in a lot of trouble. If he gets silenced, he's just screwed. I don't think Smash is going to escape. He does have a buyback, and he does have Ghost Scepter as well, so he's going to get a little bit of distance, trying to get a Blink Dagger to come together, but the Spirits are still eating at him, and he's going to go down. They take down the Tier 3 tower in the mid lane, and also Dyer's Courier killed. That's a 6,000 net worth Courier. Holy crap, that had a completed heart for Pepita, as well as a Perseverance for Death Prophet, I guess Refresher Orb component, but Pepita's now down a heart for a very, very long time, and top and bottom are both in full breach. Not today. They are down the Tinker, and they have Nature's Prophet up, so it's a semi-wide opening for the Isurus gaming side, but really this Tinker, he could buy back if he needs to, and then it's just 50 seconds of opening for Isurus to get something done. And the only thing that they could do is just group up as 5 and just YOLO push a lane and hope all goes well. But they're not doing that. It's 30 seconds till Tinker's up, and DDX is still in his own base trying to clear out some of these creeps. Try to save his range racks in the mid lane. Someone has to always be back here now in order to defend. And if Not Today, get this Tinker up by the time Isurus actually come around to the Not Today's base, then well, it's going to be completely pointless for Isurus to even fight out here, because they're just going to get converted upon as Misko going to run straight into Pepita, BKB up on the Razor, but it's going to be Misoku and Misko both falling almost at the exact same time. Pretty easy kills as the 2 supports are going to take the fall first. Ewo as well as Mihawk, though, in the base. They're going to take the range racks first. Mihawk now going to try to backdoor the melee. Silencing up Nadara. 1, 2, 3 hits. Going to kill off the Shadow Demon. Mihawk standing strong and just going for it. Tinker, where is he? He doesn't have anything to teleport to. Full back and teleport back. Lay the Ice Path as well as the Macro Power, doing a lot of damage to Mihawk. No Blade Mail to return that either. He's going to turn around as Smash does come in. Annihilates Jakiro. Instantly buys back into the game. Smash looking for the last set of racks. Where's the Wolf? He needs in on this one. The Courier on the Radiant is also going to go down. Smash, though, still alive. And now Wolf as well as Mihawk going to buy back into the fight. The last set of racks is going to fall. Fortification is not going to be enough. And I think that might just be that. Smash has a double kill at the end of it. And Ewo getting a lot of damage drained out from him. But the base of Isurus is soon to be overrun by Megas. Not today. They finally find their opening. And that is going to be enough to call GG from fullback. the strangulation slowly anaconda tactic is going to work, and it's going to give Not Today a 1-0 lead in this best of 2.
Yeah, in the end, that was all that it really took for them. They just needed that little bit of opening, and finding that first lane of barracks is the hardest one. If they only got the range barracks on both of those lanes, it would have been favorable, but it wouldn't have opened up the game like it did. And, I don't know, it's going to be not a convincing one for them. It was very messy towards the end, but well fought out game. That's the strength of the lineup that they picked. Tinker, Nature's Prophet, Lycanthrope, you can't ask for a more ratty team.
Alright guys, that's going to be it for game number 1 here. Game number 2 is going to be coming up shortly. Just got to jump into that lobby, so don't go anywhere. There's going to be more Not Today versus Isurus action coming up very shortly, guys.